Imagine this. You're floating alone in a perfectly black ocean that stretches in every direction, farther than any mind can grasp. There are trillions upon trillions of islands out there, each with beaches, forests, cities, music, laughter, yet not a single light is on. Not one campfire, not one lighthouse, not even the faintest glow on the horizon. You scream into the darkness, and the only answer is the cold echo of your own voice coming back billions of years later. What if the entire universe is one vast, abandoned metropolis after a party that ended long before we arrived? What if every alien civilization that ever rose looked up at their own stars, dreamed our same dreams, and then simply vanished? What if everything we ever believed about being special or chosen or even likely is not just wrong, but catastrophically, terrifyingly wrong?
This is no longer just the Fermi paradox. This is the scream in the dark that never gets an answer. Welcome to part 2 of the deepest, most unsettling journey we will ever take together. If part 1 left you staring at the ceiling at 3 a.m., then tonight we're turning off the lights completely. Make yourself comfortable, lower the brightness on your screen, take a deep breath, because we are about to walk straight into the silence that swallows galaxies. We begin. Do you remember the moment in part 1 when we talked about fast radio bursts? Those insane cosmic explosions that release more energy in 1,000th of a second than our sun will release in an entire year? Well, buckle up, because the story just got 1,000 times darker. In 2007, a young astronomer named Duncan Lorimer was sipping coffee in West Virginia, scrolling through old data from the Parkes radio telescope in Australia, when something made him freeze. A colossal spike of energy had arrived from deep space and then vanished. He thought it was a glitch. He almost deleted it. But he didn't. That single discovery unleashed a flood. Today, we have cataloged more than 10,000 fast radio bursts, and some of them are repeating in patterns that make the hair on the back of your neck stand up. One of them, FRB 121002, nicknamed the Repeater, fires bursts in cycles that last exactly 157 days on, then 90 days silent, then on again like clockwork. It's coming from a dwarf galaxy 3 billion light-years away. 3 billion years ago, something over there started a beacon that has been screaming across the void ever since, and we are only now hearing it. Natural? Probably, but the precision is so eerie that even the most hard-headed scientists whispered for a moment, what if it's them trying to wake us up? And then, in 2020, we caught one inside our own Milky Way. For the first time, we saw the source, a magnetar, a spinning corpse of a star with a magnetic field so strong it could erase every credit card on Earth from halfway to the moon. The relief was immediate, until the chill set in. If nature can fake a perfect alien signal so convincingly, then every single one of the other 10,000 bursts could be natural too. We now have the perfect camouflage for real alien messages. They could be screaming right now, and we would never know the difference. But the real gut punch came a few years later with a star most people now simply call Tabby Star. In 2015, a citizen science hero named Tabitha Boyajian noticed something impossible. A perfectly ordinary star 1,500 light-years away was dimming in huge, jagged chunks, sometimes losing more than 20% of its light for days or weeks at a time. Nothing in nature does that. Comets? Dust? Planets? Nothing fit. For one electric, heart-stopping moment, the entire world held its breath and asked the question out loud, is someone building a Dyson swarm right now, and are we watching it happen in real time? The internet exploded. Articles, podcasts, live streams. Elon Musk tweeted about it. Reddit stayed up all night. Even normally cautious professors admitted, we have to check. SETI pointed every dish they had. The Allen telescope array listened for laser signals. Nothing. Then the James Webb Space Telescope looked and found giant clouds of dust, probably the wreckage of a shattered planet. Case closed. Or so we told ourselves. But here's what nobody says out loud. That event changed us forever. For one brief, shining moment, the Fermi paradox stopped being philosophy and became breaking news. Millions of ordinary people looked up at the sky and felt for the first time that we might not be alone. And then the door slammed shut again. That hope and its immediate crushing left a scar. We now know exactly how it feels to almost touch another civilization and to have it ripped away. And the wounds keep coming. Just in the last 5 years, we have discovered oceans under the ice of Europa and Enceladus that are bigger than all of Earth's oceans combined. We have tasted plumes shooting out of those moons and found salts, organic molecules, and energy sources that scream life could be here right now. We have found thousands of exoplanets in the habitable zone, some of them rocky worlds orbiting quiet suns at the perfect distance for liquid water. We have found rogue planets drifting through space with geothermal heat that could keep subsurface oceans warm for billions of years without any star at all. We have found carbon-rich worlds, water worlds, diamond worlds, iron worlds, a zoo of possibilities. If life is anywhere near as stubborn as it is on Earth, if it can survive in acid, in radioactive pools, in Antarctic ice, inside nuclear reactors, then the galaxy should be crawling with biology. So why isn't it crawling with engineers? This is where the great filter reveals its teeth. Most people think the filter is behind us, that we already beat the odds by evolving brains. But the evidence is piling higher and higher that the real filter lies ahead. And it's close.
Terrifyingly close. Look at our own timeline. We are the first species on this planet that can wipe itself out in an afternoon. We have built weapons that can end civilization before dinner. We are changing the climate of an entire world in a single lifetime. We are creating artificial minds that will soon be smarter than we are. We are doing all of this while still arguing over borders drawn on maps by people who never dreamed of space. Every single one of those is a potential great filter, and we haven't passed a single one yet. The most haunting paper I've ever read came out quietly in 2018 from the University of Oxford's Future of Humanity Institute. They ran the numbers without optimism or pessimism, just cold probability. Their conclusion?
There is a very real chance that intelligent life is not rare, but long-lived intelligent life is almost impossible. Civilizations may bloom like flowers in spring, bright and beautiful for a cosmic second, and then they're gone. We may be living in the springtime right now, and winter is coming faster than we think. Some researchers now talk about grabby aliens, expansive civilizations that would fill the galaxy in the blink of an eye if they ever got started. The fact that we don't see them everywhere means either they don't exist or something stops them dead. And if something stops them, it will probably stop us too. This is no longer about little green men. This is about whether consciousness itself gets to survive in this universe. And the silence, that awful, crushing silence, starts to feel less like emptiness and more like a graveyard. So where do we go from here? The next decade is going to be the most important in human history. The telescopes we are building right now, the ones launching in the late 2020s and 2030s, will be able to see the atmospheres of Earth-sized worlds around nearby stars. They will be able to detect artificial light on the night side of planets. They will be able to spot the heat glow of Dyson swarms halfway across the galaxy.
Breakthrough Starshot is already designing tiny light sail probes that could reach Alpha Centauri in 20 years. If anyone is out there within 50 light years, we are about to knock on their door. And if the door stays silent, if every world we look at is dark, then we will have to face the final, most terrifying possibility of all. That we really are the first, that the party hasn't ended, it simply hasn't started yet, and we are the ones who get to decide whether it ever will. The universe is not hiding its children from us, it is waiting to see if we deserve to meet them. So the next time you look up at the night sky and feel that familiar ache of loneliness, don't look away. That ache is the sound of the future calling. We are standing on the edge of eternity, holding a match. Will we light the fire, or will we let it go out forever? The stars are watching, and for the first time in 13.8 billion years, they are waiting for us to answer. Picture this. You're standing in an endless hallway lined with millions of doors. Behind every single one of them, a story began just like ours. A warm little world. Oceans, storms, the first fragile spark of life crawling out of the soup. Eyes opening for the first time, hands reaching for tools, fires lit under alien skies, songs sung in languages we will never hear. And every single door is locked from the inside. Dust gathers on the thresholds. The lights are out. The music stopped long ago. What killed them all? What if the universe isn't hostile, but simply rigged? A beautiful garden filled with the most poisonous fruit imaginable, intelligence itself. What if everything we thought about progress, about reaching the stars, about growing up as a species, is actually the trap that ends us? Welcome to part 3, The Great Filter. If the first 2 episodes made you feel small, tonight we're going to make you feel fragile. Get comfortable. Turn the volume up just a little. Let the darkness settle around you. We're going deeper than we've ever gone before. We begin. In the last episode, we stood at the edge of the cosmic ocean and realized the water is perfectly still. No boats, no sails, no voices carried on the wind. Tonight, we ask the question nobody wants to ask out loud. Why does the universe let life begin, but never let it finish? This is the story of the Great Filter. The idea is brutally simple. There must be at least one step on the long road from dead chemicals to galaxy-spanning civilization that is almost impossible to pass. A choke point. A wall so high that nearly everything that starts the climb falls and never gets up again. The terrifying part? We don't know where that wall is. It could be behind us. The leap from simple molecules to self-replicating life. The jump to complex cells. The evolution of brains big enough to wonder about the stars. If the filter is in the past, then we are the miracle. We beat odds so astronomical they make winning the lottery every day for 1,000,000 years look easy. And that would mean the galaxy is ours for the taking. But every new discovery makes that feel less and less likely. Life's building blocks rain down on planets from comets. They form naturally in warm ponds, in deep-sea vents, in asteroid oceans. Simple cells appear fast in lab experiments. Complex cells? We're starting to think they weren't that hard either. Brains? They evolved multiple times on Earth, in octopuses, in crows, in dolphins. Tool use? Fire? Language? We see the seeds of all of it in other species right now. The more we look, the more the early steps look easy. That leaves only one truly horrifying possibility. The Great Filter is ahead of us, and we are walking straight toward it. Let me take you on a tour of the graveyard. Imagine a civilization just a few centuries ahead of us. They cure disease, they touch the moon, then Mars. They build thinking machines to solve their hardest problems. They begin to harvest the full energy of their star. They dream of spreading to other worlds. And then, silence. We have a name for moments like this on Earth: near-miss extinctions. 66 million years ago, an asteroid wiped out the dinosaurs. If it had missed, maybe reptiles would be building rockets today, and we'd never have existed. We came within a hair's breadth of never happening at all. Now, multiply that danger by 1,000, because intelligence doesn't just give us telescopes and poetry. It gives us the power to destroy ourselves in ways nature never could. We have already built weapons that can end everything in hours. We are changing the sky itself, warming the only home we've ever known. We are teaching machines to think faster than we ever will, and we have no idea if they will remain our servants or become something else entirely. Every single one of these is a possible filter, and we haven't solved any of them yet. In the late 1990s, an economist named Robin Hanson sat down and wrote a short paper that quietly changed everything. He asked, if the universe should be full of life, and it clearly isn't, then where is everybody? His answer became the Great Filter. Hansen pointed out something chilling. The longer we survive, the worse the news gets. If we make it another 1,000 years without destroying ourselves, that pushes the filter even further ahead, meaning whatever kills everyone else is even harder, even more inevitable. It's like walking through a minefield and realizing every step you take without exploding means the remaining mines are bigger. Some researchers have tried to find hopeful loopholes. Maybe advanced civilizations don't expand. Maybe they turn inward, uploading their minds into perfect virtual paradises and leaving the physical universe empty. Maybe they master nanotechnology and live happily inside tiny, invisible habitats. Maybe they deliberately stay quiet to avoid predators. The dark forest hypothesis, where the galaxy is full of hunters and the only safe move is silence. But every loophole has a shadow. If virtual reality is so perfect, why do we still see stars burning their fuel instead of being dismantled for computation? If everyone hides perfectly, how did they all agree to hide? If the galaxy is a dark forest, then someone, somewhere, should have fired a shot by now. We would see the ashes, and we don't. The silence remains absolute. Let's meet some of the people who spend their lives staring into this abyss. At Oxford University, a quiet institute studies the future of humanity. They don't build rockets, they build arguments. Cold, careful, probability-based arguments about whether we make it to the next century. One of their reports, released in the early 2020s, laid it out plainly. The risk of human extinction this century is uncomfortably high. Not from asteroids or supervolcanoes, from us. They list the suspects: engineered pandemics, misaligned artificial intelligence, nuclear escalation, climate tipping points.
Each one capable of ending the story before it leaves our solar system. Another group, led by astronomers and futurists, propose the Grabby Aliens model. If any civilization ever becomes expansive, Grabby, they would spread at nearly the speed of light, rearranging stars into visible patterns we could see from billions of light years away. The fact that the sky looks natural, untouched, means either no one ever gets Grabby or something stops them before they can. Again, the filter. And the closer we look at our own moment in history, the more it feels like we are living inside the filter right now. We are the first generation that can see the wall coming. We have the knowledge, we have the tools, we even have the will, sometimes. But do we have the wisdom?
Imagine an alien archaeologist 1,000,000 years from now, orbiting a silent Earth. They find ruins of cities, satellites frozen in orbit, a thin layer of plastic in the fossil record, and nothing else. They write in their report, Here was a species that reached the edge of the stars and turned back into dust. That future is not written yet, but it is possible, very possible. So what do? We fight, not with despair, with clarity. The same intelligence that built the trap can also disarm it. We can choose cooperation over conflict. We can align our machines with our values. We can heal the sky we've wounded. We can spread our eggs across many baskets, the moon, Mars, the outer solar system. Every step we take to become a multi-planetary species is a step past one possible filter. Every international treaty that reduces the risk of war is another step. Every breakthrough in AI safety is another step. We are not powerless.
We are the generation that gets to decide whether the hallway of doors stays locked forever, or whether we become the first ones to open a new door and walk through. The stars are not cursed. They are waiting to see if we are the species that breaks the pattern, waiting to see if consciousness, after billions of years of trial and error, finally learns how to survive itself. The Great Filter is not a prophecy, it is a challenge, and the answer is in our hands. Look up tonight.
Feel the weight of all those silent worlds. Let it scare you, then let it wake you up. Because if we succeed, if we become the ones who make it through, then every light we ever turn on in the dark will be a victory, not just for us, but for every story that never got to finish. We are not alone because the universe is empty. We are alone because we are early. And the next move is ours. The fire is in our hands. Will we carry it forward or let it die here? The galaxy is listening.